What's up, everyone? It's Cameron, and today we're going to talk about product research. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. Many people have their own specific way and they swear by it, but there's several different ways. You can use tools, you can just do nice little methods that you prefer, you can just find inspiration from things, and we're just going to go over the different types of product research methods that I use and just that I've heard of other people using. So, before we get into that though, there's something in my eye. Before we get into that, please like the video, subscribe, just give me all that. It'll be awesome, and I appreciate it. But yeah, let's talk about stuff while you watch me dig stuff out of my eye. Anyway, okay, so some of my best items that I found are actually items that I found just driving around, like not purposely driving around to go search for stuff. I'm not about that, but like if I'm leaving somewhere and just running errands, I'm just being like mindful of my surroundings, or just I'm caught in thoughts, and I'll just come up with random stuff that I'm like, oh man, I think that would sell, and I'll go home and list a couple variations of that item, and then those end up being some of my best sellers. It's almost like if I try to find inspiration from items that are already listed, I don't get any views or sales. But when I find a completely random thing that I just thought of myself, that stuff sells. Not always, but I've just noticed my top hit items are things I just randomly listed with no motivation other than my own brain. So that's one of my favorites, is just to find your own products that are cool. Like, you know, like I've used this example before, but because you may be new and I'm just specifically talking about product research, I'm going to use it again. On my desk, I have this little selfie light thing, and it's got a little light switch on it. You can adjust the brightness so that it lights up your face, and you throw it on top of your phone, and that way you can do like selfie videos and stuff. Anyway, I forgot that existed, and it's sitting on my desk, and I was like, that's a cool item. I haven't listed it. I'm just giving you an example. Like I didn't see this on Amazon or something and was like, ooh, a bunch of people are selling that, let me sell it too, because that doesn't always work out the best for you. But stuff like that, you know, look in people's, like when you're driving through neighborhoods and you can see stuff like on the side of people's houses or in their garden beds and things like that, you start to notice a trend of what is in your surroundings that a lot of people have in large volume. It's usually a good bet. Another way that you hear pretty often, and we'll go into my computer here, is a lot of people will tell you to go to like the best sellers or the Amazon movers and shakers or any version of that on your different retailers online. Like if you go here to best sellers, there's this movers and shakers category. I don't have success with this. I've only tried it when I tried it when I first started, then every once in a while I dip back in, and I never sell anything off this. But just my example doesn't mean that that's the rule. A lot of people swear by listing movers and shakers items. So the reason movers and shakers is cool is because you can see here, like we're not listing books, but you can see here that it shows these little up arrows and how high it's risen in the rankings. Like these literally have hundreds of thousands of % increase, which means that like in general, that thing is increasing. It went to 141 in the sales rank all the way down from 1,200,000. Like, so that's the idea. Like in the electronics, these little purple cameras or whatever they are, it's up 15,000%, which means it's getting some kind of traction. Now, those numbers also keep in mind, you know, if you're down at 14,000 in the product rankings and like 5 people buy this thing, it's going to jump like crazy. It's not like millions of people are buying this. So at least not always. Just it's easy to see that percentage and be like, oh damn, that thing's blowing up, I got to get in on that. It's like, it can be skewed a little bit because we don't really know the numbers completely. It just really looks good. But it has done enough of traction to actually make it onto this page. So it's not completely stupid. It's just keep in mind. Don't fall in love with these numbers. And they will fluctuate all day long. So something that's in movers and shakers right now, which is another reason why I don't really rely on it, doesn't mean it's going to be in 10 minutes. Something else could bump it out of that in 10 minutes. And it might not really even matter. Now, just because it's not on the movers and shakers page doesn't mean people aren't buying it. That's not really the concept I'm putting out there either. It's just, don't fall in love with these items, because just use them as experiments and maybe even just for inspiration. But let's just look at some actual stuff really quick, because this little front page, like, I would never go off this front page, because thousands of other people are going to be looking at this, and then all the other people are going to be listing these same things, and nobody's going to make money, and then they're going to be like, why don't I get any views? And it's like, because you list the same crap everybody else lists. So let's see. Let's go to appliances. It's another obvious thing everybody's going to click, but obviously I get annoyed by stuff. Anyway, appliances. You can see what's number one. Previously unranked. It says now it's ranked 153. It's ranked number one on movers and shakers and appliances. But if you were to go to the appliances section, it will be product number 153 in the rankings as of this second. So, or as of you clicking it. So it's good to just look around here, and I really like this like freezer. I think that's a pretty cool item. Because chances are that's going to be more of a universal thing people are looking for. I've listed these like ice makers and stuff before, and I've sold a couple of them, but they haven't been like hit items. But I mean, if you're just looking for some sales, and might as well, especially if you just have no inspiration or whatever, and you're just sitting like, man, I really don't know what to list. I can't think of anything. You might as well list stuff off of this. I mean, even if it doesn't get you anywhere, at least you're listing, and you're putting in the reps to just get used to it. Yeah, again, these ice makers are everywhere, which means if all these damn ice makers are on this list, it must mean that people are buying them. At least to me. I don't know what kind of SEO stuff is going on in the background for Amazon. Maybe they're just really pushing these things, but either way. One thing I haven't seen is this little HEPA filter, whatever you say, steam sterilizer dryer. So it looks like it sterilizes stuff. That's pretty cool. I've never even seen one of those, and it's number one on this. So yeah, try stuff like that, especially the stuff you come across. You're like, I don't even know what that is, but apparently people are buying it. Movers and shakers, that's one. Again, you could also just go to best sellers and then go into categories. You don't really want to list many electronics, because when stuff stops working, people get mad. But if you just go to best sellers and home and kitchen, these are literally the best sellers in that thing right now. The problem is, you list any of these things, chances are 1,000 other people have listed them too at like 2% or whatever, or like $2 margins, and they're just like, I don't know. But go for it. I like to look at these and be like, okay, I've legit listed these silk pillows 3 months ago when I started dropshipping, and they're still on this list, which means they're literally everywhere online. So, yeah. But knowing that people are like, okay, there's 2 or 3 different pillows on here, search for some weird pillow or something and then list that, or some kind of like weird body forming pillow. Like, list the weird stuff, because the weird stuff is what makes me money. All right. That's bestsellers, Amazon movers and shakers and stuff. There's also just like tools you can use. You've heard me mention it before. This isn't a pitch for FBMFOX right now, but they have a product lister tool, or not a product lister tool, a product research tool. They do have a lister tool, but that's a different thing. You can do product research on there. It's pretty cool, and they just updated it to where now it's like way better. In my last video, I talked about FBMFOX. You used to have to like save the seller and then go back specifically. You couldn't filter anything, and it was this whole process just to find hit items. It was still cool, but it was just a lot more complicated than it needed to be. Now, this isn't what I'm looking for, but now you can just type in like appliance, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. And you don't even have to find any specific seller, any specific product. You can just search anything you want, filter, you're like, okay, under $35. Sweet. And then I can go on my product research tool, and this is the minimum number of sales per month that you want it to have. So let's just do like, I want it to have at least sold 4 times in this month, or in the last 30 days. And the max amount of seller competition, and this is all based on eBay. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use things that sell really good on eBay and assume they're going to sell really good on Facebook. And you can either list them straight from eBay, or you can find where maybe the eBay seller is buying them from another supplier or Amazon or something, and then you can list from those places for even more profit. or again, you can list straight from eBay. Doesn't matter. But I wanted to have a max number of, 7 competitors. That's still high, but I'm just doing it for the sake of this. And then you can just hit search, and it's going to do these little blue lines, and it's just kind of like getting the data for you. Again, this used to be way more complicated. Now you can legit just search on any page for this stuff. So boom, these top 2, these stupid light bulbs have sold 60 times in the last month, and it only has 5 competitors on eBay. So that's pretty damn cool. This little, dryer. This is all very specific because I typed in appliance. It's like parts. And I bet a lot of people who are like repair people and stuff buy a lot of parts off eBay. But I mean, let's type in, phone cases. That's a cool, let's type in phone cases. Yeah. Same thing. All you got to do is hit your extension and hit search. It's going to do its work. This is, again, so much better. I haven't made a video about this update yet, so if you are watching this, you kind of, and you may already know about it. So phone cases, this is a good way to rule out phone cases, everybody. This has 17 sales, which is awesome, but it has 16 competitors, which is why it didn't show up green on my list. If I said that before, this item will turn green to just quickly let your eye know that it reads, so that you can just scroll through until hopefully you find something. I might not find something because all these have like 0 sales. Not gonna lie, phone cases is just such a broad term. Like, look, we're getting a clip for some. It's not even a real phone. It's a cell phone flask. Like, so just a good example of that. Like, what should we search? What should we search? What are those things that go in your windshield? Sunscreens. Like what? Like when there's the sun out or whatever. Windshield, sunshade. Okay. Guys, I am obviously stupid. Okay. Don't listen to anything I say. I'm just gonna try this one more time, just so you guys can see it, how quick it is again. It's just, that's how, when you can just literally just think like an idiot at your computer and just be like, here's a word, and then type it in and just start going. Like, this thing sold 100 times, but it has a bunch of competitors. So, but that's you could still list it. I mean, it's still sold that many times this month, and it sold 237 times. I don't know what that number is correlated compared to that number. Whatever, but okay, this one, it's barely different than this one. This exact one has 1 competitor, and it sold 26 times this month, or in the last 30 days. Like, that's damn near 1 a day. So the coolest thing you could do is save this to FBMFOX, and then we're not going to go through all that right now, but there's just a lister thing. You hit this button and say go to Facebook, and then once you're on Facebook, you just say list selected, and then it automatically takes all this information and puts it there. Or what you would ideally do is go to this listing. You can go to this title and Google it and find it. How much is it here? 32. Here it's at eHome Mart for $24. This person on eBay is probably buying it from eHome Mart. And you could buy it from here and drop ship it straight from here if you wanted to. Or you could list it from eBay and not have to, if the eBay's got free shipping. I don't know if this place has free shipping, but that's essentially why you're using the eBay stuff. It's just eBay just makes it a lot easier for like these tools to use for product research. Don't know why, I don't know the specifics, but it's really cool. And soon, the tool that I'm talking about, the FBMFOX, is actually gonna get it for other retailers like Amazon and stuff. How cool would that be? So that's pretty much the product research side. I mean, those are the main 3 things. You just either gotta think of crap, you gotta find bestsellers from already existing websites, and then there's tools that make it a lot easier, and those are gonna kind of give you a little head start or a step ahead of the game. That tool, if you're interested in it, in my description, I've always got a coupon code for it. It gives you 10% off your first month. It is a little pricey of an extension, but if you're making a little bit of money and you can justify the purchase, it's really damn cool. And that is one little feature of the whole thing. And they're growing it and working on it all the time. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Other than that, man, you could basically rip off other people's products on Facebook Marketplace if you just want to go to Marketplace and then find a bunch of products that are obviously drop shipped items. Click on those items, click on the seller profile, and find everything that they list. It's just that's not going to give you very much because It's not going to tell you how often it's sold or anything like that. You could easily just be copying a crappy item as you could a really hit item. Also, at that point, you're just looking for stuff that you're already going to compete with. So it's not the most ideal thing. There are weird little background things that people know about, how they can go and find all the hit sellers from people's Facebook profiles. I don't know what kind of weird crap that's about, but you don't want to work like that. It's kind of, that's not about it. So other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Again, please like the video and subscribe, and I'll be here so that you can learn more about Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. Thank you, and I will see you next time.